How's everyone doing today? It's your boy JJ Domination, and I have a unpopular opinion that I think a lot of people are going to disagree with. We'll just see how this one goes. It's about the running back position, and it really just ties into one story with this guy right here, Melvin Gordon. But my opinion on the running back position, you guys have heard, if you've been following the channel, for the past year, me and Aaron, we have a lot of high praise for these running backs, so we're not bashing them in any way. If you've been following the channel, you know that we have nothing but nice things to say about all these running backs, whether or not they're elite, they're top 10, damn, they had a great performance. We have given all these running backs their due and their praise. So this is not a knock towards any of these individuals, any of the elite running backs, second tier running backs, or even third tier running backs. This is not a knock towards any of them. So I just want you guys to know that. Now, with that being said, my opinion on the running back position, it's the easiest position if you're a college athlete to transition into, and it's the easiest position to find replacements for and outside production for. Now, with that being said, don't click off the video, don't riot, don't panic, don't go on Twitter and Facebook and all these other sites for social media and be like, oh, this guy's an idiot, he doesn't know what he's talking about. What do you mean they're replaceable? Have you not seen Ezekiel Elliott and Saquon Barkley on a weekly basis? Yeah, I have. That's why we talk about them all the time. But let me go ahead and talk about Melvin Gordon. So if you guys don't know, if you've been following the NFL world, I know it's kind of hard to follow the NFL world because NBA free agency has been overshadowing anything that the NFL can do right now. Melvin Gordon and his agent have come out, because it's Melvin Gordon's 5th year in the league. It's the final year in his rookie contract. And, he's just wondering, when am I going to get that extension? When am I going to be able to work on that extension, get my bag or whatever? The Chargers haven't really been focused on that right now. They're trying to get prepared for the regular season. They're trying to get prepared. There's a lot of expectations on this team. Me and like thousands of other people think that they have the most talented roster and arguably the best roster in the NFL. A lot of expectations on them. People are putting them top 5 in power rankings. Rightfully so. I'm not disagreeing with that. But Melvin Gordon and his agent are either going to hold out, which a lot of people do in the final year of their contract. Khalil Mack did it last year. He got shipped out. The Bears re-signed them or extended him to a 5-year deal, max dollar for his position, or basically for an NFL player. And then we've seen it before with a lot of star players. Le'Veon held out, and he did in the long run end up making less than his franchise tag on a per year basis, but at the end of the day, Le'Veon Bell did get a long-term extension, and that's kind of what he wanted in the beginning of all this. So Melvin Gordon is basically saying, I'm holding out, extend me or trade me. Now, I made a post. I have this Facebook group that I'm in that I made, and then I'm also in a Facebook group that someone else made about the NFL. Well, mine's mainly about football, basketball, sprinkled in with a little boxing and baseball or whatever. I don't watch baseball, but the people in there will post about it here and there. But I'm in a strictly NFL group, and I posted in my group that if I'm the Chargers, I'm gonna look for trades for Melvin Gordon. It was received, I guess, pretty well, I guess you could say. I think people were in agreement because a lot of my friends and a lot of people that, follow me and talk sports, they kind of see what I see. They may not agree with every single thing, and I'm fine with that. I don't want people to agree with everything that I say, so that's another take. I don't like it when people agree with everything that I say. If you want to debate, have a good discussion, that's fine. You don't have to agree with everything I say. I might be just saying some BS that day. I don't know. But in this other NFL group, they were talking about the situation. They were like, okay, well, what would you do? And I was like, well, trade him. Because unpopular opinion, it looks like, he's replaceable. Very replaceable. And some people kind of laughed at it. Some people liked it and were like, okay, I see where you're coming from. And Chargers fans were like, yeah, I would trade him too. We have Austin Eckler, who's a nice third down back. By the way, let me go to the Chargers depth chart so y'all get a better view. So, yeah, we have Austin Eckler on the team. He's a good third down back. Good as a receiver, can run between the tackle a little bit. And then Justin Jackson, a rookie last year from Northwestern, he ran the rock pretty well in the absence of Melvin Gordon. That's another thing, health concern. So these two running backs right here, they're able to do a little bit of everything. So it's not like, oh, well, Austin Eckler's on the field, that means it's a passing down. Oh, Justin Jackson's on the field, that means they're running. No, they can do a little bit of everything. Eckler's just better as a receiver, whereas Jackson's better as a guy who can run between the tackles. But they both can do it fairly well. Melvin Gordon is a better athlete than both of them, and just a better talent. But in terms of strictly production, these two can give you the production that Melvin Gordon would be leaving behind, hypothetically, if he gets traded or doesn't get this extension. So, if I were the Chargers, I would make the trade, 100%. It's replaceable, and I can give you a couple other examples as well to support my argument. But some people were kind of laughing at it, like, oh, this guy's a clown, Melvin Gordon, top 10 in the game. And I'm like, yeah, no doubt, he is. He is top 10. But the thing is, the best running back in football got replaced by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Le'Veon Bell. Is James Conner a better talent than Le'Veon Bell? As a matter of fact, let me give you a graphic. Okay, Le'Veon Bell in this roster is the third highest rated running back. This isn't my roster, it's created. But where's James Conner? So, like, from a talent standpoint, okay, James Conner from a talent standpoint is nowhere on Le'Veon Bell's level. But in terms of running back production, if you look at Le'Veon Bell's final season as a starter in Pittsburgh, not the year he sat out, but the year before that when he was like a full-time starter, compare that season to what James Conner just did this past season, Conner's got the better stats. But that's for stat watchers. Let's look at how they played. You can argue Le'Veon had a better impact on the game because they did make the playoffs. Pittsburgh missed it, but there's a lot of different variables. You got to put context into everything. But basically what I'm saying is, even the best running back in football, in me and Aaron's opinion, can get replaced. James Conner filled in that void pretty nicely. Alright, let's look at another team. Let's look at these two teams right here. The Atlanta Falcons. So the Atlanta Falcons lost Tevin Coleman in free agency. Boo-hoo. I wonder what they're going to do. Well, they went out and drafted a guy, Quandre Allison from Pittsburgh. An unproven commodity, but maybe he emerges on the scene. Maybe he takes those reps that Tevin Coleman left behind. You also have a guy in-house who you drafted last year, Ito Smith, who in a limited role looked pretty good with an increased workload. We'll see what he's able to do with the healthy Devontae Freeman. Kenyon Barber, more of a special teamer, but you never know. Maybe he gets some running back reps. And then you got two guys right here who could be power backs in Brian Hill and Jeremy Langford. They're not the most talented guys in the world, but you know what? Talent wins games. Teamwork wins championships. I actually have a poster in my room that says that. Or like a metal sign that says that. Now let's go to the 49ers. They're the team that got Tevin Coleman. But they are such a running back by committee. I mean, Matt Breida was a beast last year for a spell. Raheem Morstead, was a beast. He had like 150 yards against Oakland. Jeff Wilson Jr. in the final stretch of the season was running the rock well. McKinnon, he was hurt all of last year. Tevin Coleman, we know is going to be a beast, but they're running back by committee, and all these guys, truth be told, number one, there are better versions of them in the NFL currently, and number two, they're all replaceable. These are all replaceable running backs. Raheem Morstead and Jeff Wilson Jr. showed you that last year. Oh, Matt Breida's hurt. Don't mind me. Here comes Raheem Morstead. Oh, Jerick McKinnon's out, and Matt Breida's out. Oh, and Raheem Morstead's hurt. Oh, don't mind me. Jeff Wilson Jr., here we go. Running that rock, baby. Replacing all of that value. No big deal. Now let's look at the next two teams. First, let's start off with the Baltimore Ravens. They went out and got Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram is a really good running back. I'll be the first one to tell you. I think Mark Ingram I don't think he's slightly underrated or overrated. I think he's actually appropriately where he needs to be. But I feel like at times he does get overshadowed as amongst all the running backs in the league. I feel like he just gets overshadowed a little bit. He's actually really good. But they have like a committee here, and it's funny, this dude actually put Trace McSorley as a running back. That's interesting. But Gus Edwards was like more of the power back last season. Justice Hill, he's going to be more of like a playmaker at the running back position. He can catch passes. Kenneth Dixon, Ravens fans are going to tell you that he has a lot of potential. We're starting to get to that point where, is he going to flash any of that potential? And then, of course, Mark Ingram. Really good running back. I have nothing but good things to say about Mark Ingram. It's fine. But let's look at the Saints, the team that he left. They brought in Latavius Murray and Javorius Allen to fill in those roles. No big deal. Javorius Allen, he runs with power. Latavius Murray, he's a bigger back, in terms of size and stature, and he runs the ball pretty well. I think they'll fill in a nice void, and if all goes wrong, well, Alvin Kamara, your human cheat code out there at the running back position, will be able to fill in that void just fine. No big deal. And then we already just talked about the Le'Veon Bell situation, about him and James Conner or whatever. Listen, the running back position, it's replaceable. The production is replaceable. These guys are replaceable. Even if they're as talented as Todd Gurley, as well-balanced as Christian McCaffrey, as flashy and exciting and as talented as Ezekiel Elliott, the next big thing like Saquon Barkley, or even a little under the radar like James White, I don't really think it matters. All of these guys, you could replace the production. If a running back goes down, trust me, the season's not over. Especially if you're a bad team and the season's basically already over. If a running back goes down, the season's not over. It's not the most important position on the field, but it is an important position, but it's not the most important. But it's just the one that you could find production elsewhere if it goes wrong. So for Melvin Gordon, who is seeking a new contract or a trade, if I'm the GM of the Chargers, which I'm not, it'd be pretty cool though, I'm trading Melvin Gordon. Plain and simple. I have Austin Eckler. I have Justin Jackson. And plus, if you want another running back on the roster, low maintenance because you just traded Melvin Gordon, there's this dude in free agency. You may have heard of him, Jay Ajayi. He can come in. He'll fill in the Melvin Gordon role just fine. If you want another guy out there. Jay Ajayi, of course, has a history of knee injuries. That's why no one has signed him yet. But he's only like 25 years old. He's going to be fine. He'll be fine, man. If the Chargers really want to spice things up, trade Melvin Gordon, sign Jay Ajayi for like a 1-year deal, like $5 million or something. I don't know. I don't know who else is a free agent. I guess Darren Sproles, he's talking about making a comeback. That could be something. Alex Collins is still out there, but he's in like legal trouble, so I wouldn't really go that route. Like Garrett Blount's a decent power back still. Anyway, hopefully you guys enjoy. I was just trying to get this point across about my take on running backs. That doesn't mean I hate the position. I love these guys. In fantasy football, they're extremely valuable. Watching these guys play, it's really fun. Running back's probably one of my favorite positions to watch, to tell you the truth. But the reality is, it's replaceable. It's a replaceable position. And even for Todd Gurley, just real quick, where the Rams at? They drafted Darrell Henderson because of the fear of Todd Gurley's left knee arthritis. I think Todd Gurley's going to be fine. But this is a good insurance pick here in round 3 of the draft. They have Malcolm Brown and John Kelly, who played decent roles at times for this team. They had C.J. Anderson, who's now on the Detroit Lions. Don't forget, man, C.J. Anderson rushed for like 135 yards in a playoff game this season. But hopefully you guys enjoyed. I just wanted to get my point across on the whole running back thing. If you agree with me, tell me why you agree with me. If you disagree with me, tell me why. It's an interesting discussion we could have. But peace out, guys.